What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Somebody said Gen Z is aging like milk. Let's find out why they are saying that in this video right here. We're going to react to this today. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Let's do it.
I am aging like milk, bro. This content creator, she's 25. Her entire comment section is just people saying that her skin looks horrible. And
She's only 25? She does look a lot older.
As I'm sitting down here, and then
but that's
like
just
my eyes shift focus to my reflection, which is actually what I'm looking at right now, my reflection in my phone case, and I see how I look right now, and I'm like, she thinks she looks bad. Oh my gosh, I'm 23, and I look like I could be this lady's father.
There's no way he's 23.
I'm not gonna lie, and I want to be as respectful as possible, but this guy right here definitely looks 10 to 15 years older than what he actually looks like. 23 is what he says he is. And I'm not entirely sure what's going on with his voice. I'm just gonna assume that's like a TikTok, Instagram voice filter or whatever, but
no way he's 23.
Good God, what is going on? This man looks like he could definitely be 35, pushing 40 maybe. And I can honestly say, when I was 23, I looked nowhere near like this. And considering the fact in the image that we see right here on the screen that all these people are literally Gen Zers, they're all in their early to mid 20s, it's just scary actually. I'm not entirely sure what's going on, if there's something in the air, in the water, in the food, or all three of the above, but this is getting bad.
Yeah, Botox.
Yeah.
Okay, so Samantha is 26.
Okay.
And Nicole is 24.
Oh my
Well,
god.
she's 24.
Harriet is 24.
Oh my god.
And then Jess is 25.
Wow.
Honestly, the
They
fact
look
that
their
a
ages,
professional
kinda.
surgeon is that in shock at what he just saw speaks volumes.
What's going on? Also, new addition. What's up with these guys? These little hooks on the end of my ears, these little elf ears. People always used to say that I had elf ears in elementary school. Not because of these. These are new. It's like they're coming to fruition because of things spoken about me in past times. What's going on here? Anyway. Wow, I'm 23 and I look like I have gray hair.
That dude is not
Just in this
23.
light, but
Yeah, so some advice for this guy, definitely grow out your hair. The short
grow
hair is
it out,
definitely
yeah.
contributing to the fact that you're already blonde and the sun is piercing your scalp, which is making it look so transparent and making you look like you're balder than you actually are. Also, possibly maybe gain some weight, get a nice skincare routine to, you know, help with the fine lines and wrinkles, guys.
Cut
Also,
this
wear
down.
sunscreen. I know there's this new trend, this new fad where people want to sun gaze and they want to be in the sun for hours a day with a UV index of 9+, but just realize that that is aging you rapidly, that is destroying your skin cells, that is potentially contributing to potential skin cancer. Like, yeah, sure, cool, the sun is good for you, you know, depending on the pigmentation of your skin, an hour or two per day over the course of the day of sunlight is perfectly fine, but just staying for hours on end in the sun will definitely do more harm than good. Somebody in the comment section though said, I feel so bad. I first thought, and I quote, no, you look great, not old at all, until you said you were 23.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say what I thought. Yikes.
Well, do you not realize how old?
There's no way that guy is 23. And if he is, there is certain things that he could do to change it. For example, when I was 23, I couldn't grow any of this. He has like the whole beard. I was barely growing a mustache, and let alone this. But I never shaved the sides of my face, and I couldn't even grow it. It wouldn't grow at all. So I don't know. Maybe some people are aging differently, or maybe they're not. It could be a thing.
Y'all motherfuckers over like 30 look?
So I'm almost 40. I'm almost 40 years old. But who
say
cares
he's
how
28.
old we look? Like, why are we arguing about this? Like, why can't we all just get along, have a good time? Because there are way worse things that we could all be.
That is true.
Pissed off about.
Agreed, but blame it on Gen Zers or the younger part of Gen Z, because they will literally, as soon as you turn 21, 22, 23, call you unk.
Yeah,
Literally,
you
there's
unk.
this new trend with the younger part of Gen Z calling people in their 20s unk. And not because, you know, they may have a sibling or a sister or brother who had a child, right? That type of uncle, right? Technically speaking, you're an uncle if one of your siblings have a baby. You could be an uncle at 12 or 13 years old. I was an uncle at 10. But no, they're actually using this term unk, which is shortened for uncle, as a slur to basically call you
like
old.
Karen.
And honestly, this already tells me
Wonk.
that when Gen Z all reach their 30s and 40s, there's going to be a hell of a lot of midlife crises out here, because apparently these people are afraid of aging.
I feel like I'm the only Gen Z who those like
See, how old is that guy?
are when it comes to age. Like, y'all are really weird about it. Like you really got 23-year-olds acting like a 28-year-old is old. and they'd be like, "Oh my God, you look so young." They're 28.
Yeah, not that old.
Am I missing something? Like, what's wrong with my generation? Like, it's genuinely scaring me. Like even 18-year-olds to 20-year-olds, you guys act like they're fucking old.
Yeah, what is it? Not
What
that.
is going on?
You know what I think it could be? It could be beauty standards. Beauty standards, I feel like now are a little bit different than they used to be. Even when you look back at old pictures of, like, say, Britney Spears or, you know, any of the pop stars of that time, they had, like, you know, the mid cut, the thinner waist, like there wasn't like a butt thing, or you know what I mean. So now it's like, oh, they're flat, they have a small butt. You know, that they would say that now, but back then that was like the thing. It was not. That was like hot. You know, I mean, I still think it's a good thing, but you know what I mean. By standards, people want to look like the Kardashians. They want to have a big butt, big hips, big chest, big lips, and it looks crazy. It looks crazy, and I think it's aging people. I think the beauty standards are aging people.
I think there's a lot of immaturity and arrested development going on for Gen Z, because like we're the generation where, especially if you were born after 2005, where you literally grew up with technology. You're iPad kids, right? You grew up with a fucking social media device at the tip of your fingers.
We like barely have
grew up in a
MySpace.
very superficial, shallow world where everything's like fast fashion, materialistic, focused on your looks. And you grew up in a society where nobody prepared you to grow up or become an adult. In fact, we live in a society where people want to infantilize grown adults, 18, 19, 20, 21, calling them kids and children. Like, excuse me, by the time you're 16, you should be well on your way to be preparing for college or getting your first job, being on the road, driving, preparing yourself as a young man or young lady for adulthood. That is the age when you're, I mean, let's be honest here. If you murder someone, you're going to jail, adult jail,
you're
prison.
adult.
You're cooked. Also,
17
believe it or
years.
not, whether you think it's good or bad, that would typically be the age range for a lot of World War II vets who were sent off to fight for this country. The founding fathers were like in their early 20s, 20, 21, 22, 23. The people who founded this country. But the fact that now we live in a day and age where everybody's being infantilized and treated like genuine kids is probably contributing to the reason for why Gen Z is so weird about age and don't want to grow up and are afraid of getting older.
What is going on? Like, why are you calling people in their 20s unks? Am I going crazy? Y'all are weird. Y'all are very, very weird when it comes to age. Like, honestly, like, do you, like, is it like the mid-ages? Like, is it medieval times? So you guys really gonna die in your 30s? Y'all realize you live up to 100, right?
Yeah,
I'll say this. People think everything is old until they actually get to that age and realize, holy shit, I'm actually still trying to figure my life out. You know, a lot of people are in their mid-30s and still don't know what the hell they're doing with their own lives. I will say, though, although this may not technically be a word, this type of cringe-ass ageism needs to stop. Let's be honest. All right? Calling somebody in their mid-20s, especially in Gen Z, somebody in their 20s unk because you think they're old, it's just like actually retarded. Back in the day, unk was reserved for people who were 40 years old and above. Let's be honest.
Yeah, 40
people 40s, 50s, that's what we called unk. OG. So if you're out here, unironically, aside from the memes, calling someone unk or OG, and that person is in their 20s, then you need to seek help. And honestly, again, maybe part of the reason for why Gen Z is calling other Gen Zers unk is because a lot of Gen Zers are just aging horribly.
Somebody explain to me why this generation of 30 to 40-year-olds look like they're in their 20s, but the 20-year-olds look like they're in their 40s. Is everyone going to be okay?
If you are of a generation that is watching the UV index like it's the stock market, y'all are gonna get burned. When you pair that with the misinformation that sunscreen causes cancer, it take a genius to figure out that you're going to age faster. UV exposure is undeniably one of the highest risks for premature aging. If you need further proof, look at this twin study. This twin, tanning. This twin, sun protection. Next theory is the vaping epidemic. Millennials are the generation between cigarettes and vaping. We didn't put any of that into our body because smoking is absolutely going to age you like milk. It breaks down collagen, it breaks down elastin, gives you smoker's lines, makes you look 10 times older. And would you believe me if I told you these people were in their 20s? More and more people are starting to get Botox and filler at a younger age. And not only can that make us look weird, but it can also age us significantly. Whether or not millennials look younger and Gen Z looks older, I don't really know. The key message here is wear your freaking SPF, don't touch vaping or smoking with a 10-foot pole, go easy on the Botox and filler.
So ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from the dermatologist herself, where I think she's cosmetic, whatever. Someone who does like chemical peels and whatnot.
She
You heard
got
it from her,
something.
all right? Not wearing your SPF, vaping, which I heard recently that vaping can be more dangerous than smoking,
Give me
not because of
popcorn
the
lung.
particular ingredients, but because it's more easily accessible and you do it more
You do it
because,
often,
you know,
yeah.
the smell, it vaporizes, it quickly dissipates, and apparently the usage is so intense within younger populations with the amount of vape that people vape that it's becoming as worse, or if not more worse than actual cigarettes,
Yes.
which is kind of crazy to think about. But ladies and gentlemen, I think this is a strange psychological phenomena. I think it's multifaceted. I think with the rapid infantilization that Gen Z had to go
I like that
through,
word,
the arrested
infantilization.
development, the shitty diets, the shitty foods, the shitty water supply, all the toxins and chemicals we put in our bodies, the lack of movement, the social media addiction.
I think a lot of that has to do with the lack of movement too, what he said there. As far as the crappy foods and the dyes, and I mean, come on, we grew up drinking fruit punch, Hawaiian punch, Kool-Aid, and eating all kind of stupid candy and Doritos and all the stuff that I don't consume now, but we did for a long time. So I think that the millennials of the world should be far worse, but I don't know. We moved. We got outside. We had to play. We had to do stuff. So we're aging like normal folks, you know. But yeah, with the unk stuff, hey, that's for 40 and above. 35 and under, we ain't no unk, man. I'm not even 35 yet. I'm not even 34 yet. Don't put that unk on me. I still got a whole nother year and a half. Don't put that on me.
The sleep deprivation,
I'm
again, the
35.
food supply
I'm not no
being
more.
tainted with apparently over 8 to 10,000 chemicals in our food supply, whereas Europe has like less than 2,000. Yeah. And then on top of that, certain health gurus on YouTube telling people like to go outside without any sun protection because that's the masculine and manly thing to do. Listen, I fell for that trap a couple years ago, and boy, I tell you, by the end of the summer, the back of my neck was literally like peeling, like from sun damage. It was actually cracked. Legitimately, the skin on the back of
This
my
white
neck
guy?
was cracked and peeling from the amount of sun damage it had. It was terrible. I never experienced anything like that a day in my life. And also, I'm not sure about the exercise levels of
This must be a white guy talking. I thought it was a black guy, but if it is a black guy, I'm not gonna say anything. We're not going down this road about sunscreen. But I don't wear sunscreen. I don't, and I've never been sunburned. Actually, if I'm being honest, the only one time that I did wear sunscreen is the time that I got sunburned. That's the only time I've ever been sunburned, is when I wore sunscreen. My mom made me put it on. I put it on my shoulders, and man, the next day I was like, it's kind of burning. Like, I don't understand. And I couldn't figure it out. That was the sunburn. Other than that, I lay out for hours, 2-3 hours. I mean, hey, if something happens to me, something happens to me, but I've been doing it for years. So, we all here still.
Gen Z. I think Gen Z overall, in comparison to previous generations, are definitely less physically fit and less physically
is true.
active, and less exercise contributes largely
Yeah,
to the
to
overall
more.
aging of your body. That, in combination with a whole bunch of, you know, cosmetic surgeries that some people in Gen Z get,
What is
that
up with
do
that?
more harm than good. I mean, it's like a death by 1,000 cuts. So genuinely speaking, as a Gen Zer who grew up with inadequacies in my diet, social media addiction for a while, lack of physical movement, of which I've definitely completely turned around, as you can see here on my Instagram stories. Follow me on IG, by the way. I can tell you, as a person who's been on both sides of these lifestyle changes, I'm like 1,000% more happy where I am right now than where I was a couple years ago.
Got
So
it.
honestly, if you're Gen Z or Gen Alpha, Millennial, Boomer, Gen X, or whatever the hell, like, just get out there, exercise, eat healthy, you know, get
Stop with this
vitamin D.
crap.
The sun is cool, but don't do too much, you know. Get your omega-3 fatty acids, your vitamin D capsules. Eat protein. Meat is actually good for you. Liver, pretty good for you. If you can, try to get between 5 and 10,000 steps per day. Try to, you know, get as much sleep as possible, between 7 and 8 hours.
Sure.
Drink water. I know a lot of people do not like water, but it's good for you. If you can, try to limit your amount of microplastics. Microplastics are horrible for the human body, obviously, and we've done a lot of plastic pollution, which is like now catching up to us. Literally has decreased fertility in both men and women, and I believe has contributed to cancer. But yeah, overall, eat clean food, drink water, breathe air, sleep properly, lift weights, and you won't have to look like you're pushing 40 years old while you're literally still in your 20s.
That's
Anyway,
crazy.
ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts and opinions on.
That is insane. This guy is only 23 with the but for him, he just needs to grow out his hair a little thicker so it won't look like it's thinning right here in the front, and cut down some of this right here. I mean, the beard thing is cool, but you know, in your early 20s, you got that smooth baby face. You don't have to worry about razor burn and all the cuts and stuff. So just let it be fresh. You know what I'm saying? Get your nice haircut and do your thing. Take care of yourself. Drink water. Guys, what do you think? Gen Z looking like milk, aging like milk? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you next time.